Western Australia released their nomination requirements for the 491 or 190 visa. So they are the third state to introduce their requirements this financial year. Australian Capital Territory, ACT, had released their requirements. Tasmania had released their requirements, and now Western Australia. However, let's look at this in detail for Western Australia and discuss some of the requirements. I must say it looks pretty exciting, especially for those who have occupations in the critical sector industry. So in this video, let's focus on the 190 visa only, Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 stream. So first of all, for any 190 visa, you need to have at least 65 points, you need to have competent English, and you need to have a valid skills assessment in an eligible occupation. So the occupation list is on the Western Australia website. You would go ahead and navigate that and have a look at what occupations are available. Now, the way they rank this is they firstly going to prioritize applicants who are living in Western Australia. Then they're going to prioritize applicants living overseas and interstate. However, they will be on the same playing field. Overseas and interstate will be classified as the same. So if you are in Australia and you meet the requirements and want to increase your chances of being invited, then probably relocating to Western Australia is the best option for you because you're definitely going to be prioritized. Occupations in the priority Western Australia industry sector in no particular order is building and construction, healthcare and social assistance, hospitality and tourism, as well as education and training. So occupations in those four industries will be prioritized first, and then occupations in all other WA industry sectors will be invited after. They will then invite you on the highest EOI point score and then the oldest EOI submission date. So it should be first in, best dressed. But you need to go to the website and just play around with the tools. So you have a look at the WA industry sector, and if you just check the industry like building and construction, you can see what occupations are available on there. Like for example, civil engineer, carpenter, those occupations are available under the industry sector of building and construction, which is going to be prioritized. Okay, now let's strictly look at Schedule 1. You will see that all healthcare and medical occupations fall under Schedule 1. So they will be all prioritized under Schedule 1. However, the issue is that under Schedule 1, you must have 1 year of post-qualification work experience in your occupation, or it must be closely related. That 1 year of work experience can be onshore or offshore. That means if you're working in the medical or healthcare industry, you must have 1 year work experience. You wouldn't be eligible even under Schedule 2 because all the healthcare and medical occupations fall under Schedule 1. So rule of thumb, basically remember if you are a registered nurse or perhaps a general practitioner and you want to apply for 190 in Western Australia, you must have 1 year of post-qualification work experience in your field. The second main requirement is that you must have a job offer for at least 6 months in Western Australia. Now, I do think as we're talking about Schedule 1 strictly, healthcare and medical occupations, as long as you have the 1 year work experience, you meet the points requirement, have at least competent English, or probably proficient if you're a nurse, you will probably be able to secure a job in Western Australia. It's probably pretty realistic. There's probably a huge shortage at the moment of nurses, doctors, and other healthcare occupations. So that's strictly looking at Schedule 1. So if you are a healthcare and medical occupation, you're basically only going to look at Schedule 1. You won't look at Schedule 2. So now let's look at Schedule 2. This is where we look at the top 4 industry sectors that are prioritized and then all the other industries. So first of all, the top 4 that's going to be prioritized is building and construction, healthcare and social assistance, hospitality and tourism, education and training. Now for Schedule 2, again, you must score at least 65 points, have at least competent English, and have a valid skills assessment in one of the eligible occupations where you'll be able to see on the website. But you don't need 1 year work experience, unlike Schedule 1, but you will still need an employment contract, basically a job offer for at least 6 months in Western Australia, unless you are in the building and construction industry, so you have one of those occupations, then you do not need to have a job offer. How good is that? So if you are like carpenter, construction estimator, civil engineer, quantity surveyor, you live in Western Australia or you live overseas or interstate, you can apply for the 190 visa and you don't need to have a job offer and you don't need to have work experience either. As long as you have all the other things I mentioned previously, you can apply and it looks like you're going to be prioritized. Then after that, it will be hospitality and tourism industry, as well as education and training. So you'll be prioritized after that, but you will still need a job offer. And then after that will be all the other industry sectors. So for example, if you work in IT. So overall, it's pretty good. Like, it hasn't changed a lot from last year, but I guess they have more critical sector occupations. So you're able to gauge like when you're going to get an invitation, if you're going to be prioritized or not. So that's super exciting. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you guys have any questions or anything you want me to make videos on, drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.